students, we are doing employment and unemployment. We will understand the term what is a labor supply. Okay, labor supply. If somebody asks you what is a labor supply, when it refers to the number of persons willing to work at different wage rates. It depends upon the existing wage rate and is measured in terms of man days. Labor supply means people willing to work at a rate which is R based rate, R based per hour, rate per hour. At the rate per hour, in abroad there are countries for working per hour you are paid. In India there are days, okay, or sometimes there is a fixed your remuneration, right? When there is a willingness of a people to work at per hour, that is labor supply. Okay, it refers to the number of persons willing to work at a different wage rates. Like per hour, if a labor is getting for 1 hour working 100 rupees, another places will get 200 rupees. There is a difference in the wage rates. Per hour basis, when somebody is willing to work, that is a labor supply. That is labor supply. It depends upon the existing wage rate and is measured in terms of man days. Okay. Labor force. Labor force is referred to the number of persons actually working or willing to work. It does not depend upon the wage rate and is measured in terms of number of days. People, labor force. Number of people working, willing to work for a rate which is calculated per day basis. When number of people willing to work on per day basis, then that is a labor force. Labor supply means when number of people willing to work or working for rate which is calculated per hour, that is labor supply. Those people will be labor supply. Then workforce. It refers to the people who are actually working. Workforce. Workforces are the people who are actually working. It does not include those people who want to work but are not getting employment. Who are actually working. And labor force is the number of persons who are willing to work or working on a rate which is daily basis, right? That is labor supply. Okay, these are the three differences of the term. Now, why is employment an important component of Indian development policy? Tell me, why there is a requirement of employment? First tell me. Why? More employment will lead to higher level of national income. See, when there will be employment, many people like me will get employed. They will be able to purchase. When there will be purchase and consumption, the factory owners will produce more. When there will be more production, the national income, the value of goods and services produced per year will increase. Hence, the economic development will happen. Employment is crucial for removal of poverty. Since India is a country which is developing country, to eradicate poverty, to become self-dependent, employment opportunities must be developed. So if any question like this comes, why is employment an important component of Indian development policy. There are policies in Indian development policies, right? There is very important element which on which the frameworks are made, implementation happens is employment. How to generate employment? For the reasons I have told you why, okay, these reasons you have to write. Alright, if a question comes, there is a question in the book, who is a worker? A worker is an individual who is doing some productive work to earn living. See, if somebody is doing a work for the destruction of the country like terrorists, will they be known as worker? If somebody is doing planning to hit someone, will they be included in worker? The worker is a person who is an individual who is doing some productive work to earn a living. Some productive work one is doing to earn living. Okay, that person will be worker. There is a question in your book. Raj is going to school. When he is not in school, who will find him working in his farm? When he is not in school, you will find him working in a farm. There is a person, there is a boy, Raj. When he doesn't go to school, he works in the farm. Raj. Okay. Can you consider him worker? Why? क्या is Raj a worker? क्या Raj worker है जो farms में काम करता है when he doesn't come to school? Let's see. Raj is not a worker because he is not actively engaged in production. Workers include all those who are fit for work and are willing and able to work. Workers do not include children, old people, handicapped. Okay, workers have a definition that children will be not considered as worker. Our Indian education system, our constitution doesn't give this right for a child under a specific age to work, and if he works, he will not be considered as a worker because in worker, handicapped, old people, children do not come. Okay. He is not actively engaged in production. Every day he doesn't come. Secondly, he is a child, so he will not be considered as a worker. Then there is one more question. Meena is a housewife. Besides taking care of house chores, she works in the cloth shop which is owned and operated by husband. Can she be considered a worker? Why? See, there is a woman Meena. Okay. After doing her household job, she supports or helps in the shop of his husband, and the shop is of cloth shop. Okay, cloth shop. Many clothes are there, and Meena. Meena goes there and helps. So will she be considered a worker? Meena is a self-employed worker. Even though she is working in her husband's cloth shop, will be considered as a worker. Whether she is helping in with husband. Husband and Meena, when people marry, what is of husband becomes a wife also, right? The shop is of their family, that is, it is self-employed. Whether woman goes or man goes, she will be considered as a self-employed, and hence she will be worker, right? Okay, who is casual wage laborers? Those who are not hired by their employers on a regular or Casual means wage basis, on daily wage basis or hourly wage basis. Casual, hourly or daily wage. Casual, hourly. So those who are not employed regularly, they will be considered as casual wage workers. Do not get any social security benefit. Construction workers, daily wages, construction, the labor who has constructed your car, every day he demands 360, 300, 500, whatever the charges per day is. So he will be casual worker or daily wage worker, right, who doesn't have fixed income or a regular income. Got it? These were the questions of your book. Okay, let's move further. It is not easy. I am taking up another question. It is not easy to maintain an employment growth of 2%. Why in India it is not easy to maintain an employment of 2%? For a country like India, why? Why? We cannot generate employment to 2%. We cannot increase the employment to 2%. Reason being, machines have come in India. What a labor could have done, now machine does it, has replaced many labors. Machine came. What a labor could do, suppose 5 laborers could do one single machine's work. Now they are replaced by this machine. So capital intensive industry, capital intensive method, capitals we are using more of equipment and hence replacing the human being. The rate of investment and choice of technology determine the growth rate of employment. The emphasis is on growth of economy through modernization of production techniques has resulted in jobless growth in India, due to which by using machine, though products are being produced, economy is increasing, national income increasing, but jobless. These 5 become jobless. An example. So the modern techniques use capital intensive method of production which is cost effective. Now every labor maintenance has to be given by the employer. Minimum wage have to be given. Whereas installing a single machine, one time investment, and it doesn't ask holidays, it doesn't ask increment. So machines have capital intensive method. Machines replace human beings and more of use of machines have led to jobless growth. And there has been difficult to maintain. That is the reason there is a difficulty in maintaining 2% rate, growth rate of 2% for employment growth rate. So employment growth rate of maintaining 2% has become a challenge for the country because of capital intensive method. Capital means accumulation of more machines, using them more because machines using is quite cost effective, and the machines are used at the cost of the employment of the employees, hence there is a jobless growth. So it's very difficult to maintain 2% employment growth rate in India. Okay, so far we have covered many things. One more question we will take up. Victor is able to get work only for 2 hours in a day. Rest of the day he is looking for work. Is he unemployed? Why? What kind of jobs could persons like Victor be doing? Victor, there is a boy Victor. He gets for a job for 2 hours. He employs himself for 2 hours. He gives his service for 2 hours. Will he be unemployed? Will he be considered as unemployed? No. Why? Because hourly basis is working, he is employed. Victor is employed because he works for 2 hours daily, for which he is paid. Victor works 2 hours. He's paid for 2 hours. If he's not paid for 2 hours, then he can be considered unemployed. But he's paid for 2 hours. Okay, he's paid. Victor might be doing jobs as a casual basis. When he's paid hourly basis, he is a casual worker. Casual workers are paid hourly basis or casual workers. Such as painting a house, plumbing water, working as an electrician, distributing newspaper, milk. Person who distributes milk, newspaper, he's also employed. He just gets work for 2 hours, but he is employed because he's being paid by the employer. Right? So in this video we will study this much. We will take up further in the next video.